Jessica. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So today I'm going to be performing a plaque index on you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this solution and I'm just going to rub it on your teeth, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of water. You're going to swish it around. You're going to spit it out, and then afterwards what it's going to do is stain anywhere where you have like a buildup of bacteria on your teeth. And what it's going to allow us to do is to show you how to properly brush and floss, because those stained areas are areas where you are missing when you are brushing and or flossing. And so we are going to get started with that. I'm going to sit back. So if you want to hold on to this mirror.
Oh wow, there's some pink. It's just pink and
So you
purple.
see how it's like
Yeah.
pink, and then we got some spots between your teeth that are a little bit darker, kind of like more like a purple.
Yeah.
So what that is after you brush your teeth, there's like this thin layer that starts to form within minutes on your teeth. And have you ever like gone a long time without brushing and your teeth kind of felt fuzzy?
Yes.
Yeah, so what that is we call that the pellicle, and it's basically just a thin layer over your teeth that allows bacteria to come along and stick on that layer, and so it sticks to your teeth. And so within like about, excuse me, a couple hours, bacteria starts to come along and starts to stick, and it starts to thicken. And then within about 12 to 24 hours, it can actually show up when we use this solution. So that bacteria that's shown up right here, as we can see, has kind of been left undisturbed. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a quick look at all of your stuff, and I see that according to your medical history, you are taking Zyrtec, correct, for your heartburn?
Allergies, yes.
Allergies?
Yes,
Okay,
sorry.
sorry.
It's okay.
And so with Zyrtec, that can actually cause dry mouth. Do you ever feel like you have that?
Right, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't produce a lot of like saliva. It's just very like dry. I don't know why.
Okay, yeah, it's because of your medication.
Okay.
So Zyrtec is a medication that can cause dry mouth.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a concern for us, because dry mouth can make cavities more like prone to develop.
Okay.
And so the reason for that is because the saliva in your mouth acts like a pH buffer, or in other words, it helps to neutralize your mouth to where it's not an acidic environment. Because bacteria love acidic environment.
Right.
And I also noticed that you like to drink a lot of soda.
Lots of it, like all the time, all
All the
day.
time. So the problem with that is every time you take a sip of soda, it kind of creates an acidic environment in your mouth. And so, especially since you have dry mouth, your saliva really isn't working to neutralize your saliva in your mouth. And so what happens is when you drink soda, just sipping on it all day, your mouth is constantly at an acidic environment to where bacteria can come along and just thrive. Okay. And so we want to try to limit how long we are like sipping on soda, and maybe try to limit to maybe like drinking one soda a day. If you can start with that, and then slowly start decreasing more and more, and also start to be drinking more water to kind of like have more like a balance, especially with your dry mouth. You want to try to keep your mouth as moist as possible.
Right.
And also what helps with that, I don't know if you like chewing gum, but
I do.
There you do? All right, awesome. So there's certain types of gums. I know Trident is one of them. I think Orbit is another one, but if you look on the back, it'll have an ingredient called xylitol. It's Xylitol.
Okay.
And if you look for that, chewing that kind of gum will help because that acts as a moisture stabilizer. So it helps to create your maintain the moisture in your mouth, not to help it not become so dry. And it also acts as an anti-cavities agent, so it helps to prevent cavities as well. So I definitely would recommend that. That would definitely be beneficial to help with that.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I love gum, so I might as well just try that gum that's best for me.
Yeah, that would be great. And then also I see when we did our intraoral exam, looking around, that your gums were just a little bit inflamed, and so I also noticed that you are taking Dilan.
I am.
Okay, so Dilan is a kind of drug that can actually cause gingival hyperplasia, or in other words, it can cause your gums to just become enlarged.
Okay.
And with that, you also, on your charts, I noticed that you had a few pockets, so like where your teeth kind of meet your bone, and where the tissue attaches, there's kind of like a pocket where between your tooth and then your tissue right here, there's this pocket.
Okay.
And what that is, that allows for bacteria to come along and kind of embed in that pocket.
Okay.
And so what happens is that can eventually enter your bloodstream and can just go throughout the rest of your body. And so it's very important that we try to minimize and get rid of as much bacteria as we can in the mouth, because your mouth is just like a portal to the rest of your body. So we definitely want to try to take care of what's going on up here, so that way the rest of your body isn't affected with all that bacteria. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you some brushing methods and flossing to try to help decrease that bacteria. So that'll definitely help to minimize that and to help your gums not be so enlarged.
Okay.
But I did notice on your x-rays that you have no bone loss, so that's good. And then, let's see, you also brush twice a day, so that is fantastic. We definitely want to keep that up because what happens is in the morning you definitely want to brush to kind of get rid of all that bacteria that just kind of sits in your mouth overnight, because bacteria love moist, warm environments, dark places, and at nighttime that's definitely what your mouth is.
Right.
So it's very important to brush right when you wake up. And it's also important to brush right before you go to bed as well, to try to limit how much bacteria is in your mouth and that can build up overnight. All that bacteria that kind of builds up throughout the day with all the food you're eating, we definitely want to take care of that, try to get rid of as much as we can right before we go to bed at night.
Okay.
Okay? So what we're going to do, if you want to hold that mirror back up, and I want you to show me how you brush at home.
Okay.
So you like to do the big circles?
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so that really helps to kind of get rid of all the bacteria that's kind of like on the surfaces of your teeth. And so there's also another method that I want to show you that'll kind of help remove more of the bacteria that kind of likes to build up around your gum line.
Okay.
And so what I want you to do is hold your bristles, point them towards your gum line like this. And I want you to just move it back and forth like that. And what that does is kind of helps to stimulate your gums to try to get blood flowing, which is also really beneficial since you do have a little bit of gingival enlargement. So you're going to start with this, and then I kind of want you to just fling down. And what this is doing is kind of flicking out that bacteria from your gum line right there.
Right.
And you're just going to do that all the way around, and even on the bottom, just a couple, and flick upwards. So I want you to try that for me. That looks beautiful. Does that feel comfortable
It
for you?
feels nice. It's like a little massage.
Yeah. Awesome. And then for the inside, like your tongue side, it's the same thing. We're just going to come in and flick up and and I'll show you on the top. Just a couple strokes back and forth, and then flick downwards. So I'm going to try that as well. Beautiful. Yeah, and that definitely helps to kind of flick out that bacteria. Good. And then for your front teeth, it's just slightly different, but still the same concept. We're going to hold it this way and just kind of come in, do a couple strokes, and flick down. Same thing up here, just a couple strokes, and flick upward to try to flick that bacteria out. There you go. Good. So I want you to kind of try that at home. If you want, you can start on your right side or your left, whatever you prefer. And then just kind of start either on the top or the bottom, whatever routine you like best. Just start on that side and do that whole section.
Okay.
And then go to like the inside. So that way you won't miss any surfaces. It's definitely important to have like kind of a routine whenever you are brushing, because sometimes you could be brushing and be like, oh, did I do this side? So you definitely want to make sure you kind of have the same pattern every time you brush to prevent that.
So what about an electric toothbrush?
So I personally love electric toothbrushes. I use one myself. I use one by Oral-B.
Okay.
And it is kind of pricey, so any electric toothbrush will do great.
Okay.
So with an electric toothbrush, it helps to better remove bacteria because it's electric. It can definitely move a lot faster than you can with your own like hand moving. And so what you want to do with that, because it also can be, it can like hurt your gums if you're not using it properly. Some people can like be too aggressive with it.
Okay.
But what I like to do is just kind of hold it here and just let it do the work.
Okay.
Because it will spin for you, and it does spin efficiently. So you just kind of just want to hold it. And what I like to do, so I make sure I don't miss any surfaces, is I like to start in the very back and just kind of hold it up here for a few seconds, and then kind of come to this surface right here, and then come to the other side. And then I go to the next two, hold it for a few seconds, then come here, and then come here. And I do that all the way around, and then come back on the bottom. That way I definitely make sure that I don't miss
It's like
anything.
you're rolling around. Oh, okay.
Want to try that? So you like hold it, let it spin, yeah, like that. And then you can kind of like come back around.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
As long as, I'll have to get one that's really good at spinning.
Definitely. And that also does a more effective job at getting in between your teeth. But we also still have to use floss, and I noticed that you don't really floss that often, correct?
Right, I don't like to floss at all. It just makes my gums bleed.
It makes your gums bleed? Okay, so with that, I know part of your medication kind of causes that because your gums are enlarged and you have a lot of bacteria.
Right.
But the more you do floss, the less your gums will eventually bleed.
Okay.
Because for people who don't floss, their gums, anytime they do floss or when they come to the dentist, they just bleed all the time.
Yeah.
So I want you to first, do you know how to floss? Or do you think you can give it a shot at how you might would try to floss?
Sure.
Let's see. Doing two at one time. Try to get it done faster. Okay, so what I want to recommend is if you wrap it around your fingers like this, your middle fingers, and just choose one hand to kind of wrap it a little bit more of.
Okay.
So that way when you go, you can unwrap from this side and wrap with this side, so that way you're not reusing dirty pieces in between your teeth.
Right.
So I kind of want to show you with your hands first so you can get a better visual. So if you kind of put your fists together like this, and we're going to pretend that these are your teeth.
Okay.
And so what I want you to do is we're going to seesaw down, and then I want you to kind of make a C shape to kind of hug your tooth and do a couple up and down strokes. And then take the other side and hug your tooth, just kind of go up and down a couple of times.
Okay.
And then we just wiggle back out. Okay?
Okay.
So if you want to hold it here, I'll show you in your mouth. You're going to seesaw, and then we're going to hug your tooth and do a couple up and down strokes, and just wiggle back out. See, I even got a little piece of food right there
Fun.
that a toothbrush kind of
Yeah.
can't reach as good. I go up here, just wiggle, 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 hug your tooth, and a couple up and down strokes. Just wiggle back out.
Nice. Okay. Let's see.
And since you don't floss, I can also suggest you to kind of get those picks to kind of start off with, because that's definitely better than not using anything at all.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you.
And so that will definitely help to remove the bacteria that kind of likes to get stuck in between your teeth.
Yeah.
But if your teeth are like this, really tight together, the toothbrush, no matter how good it is, really just can't do as good as getting in between there
Right.
and removing that bacteria as floss can. So it's definitely important that we use that as well. Do you have any questions for me?
I think you answered all of them. It was really just that electric toothbrush.
All right, well that's awesome. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you so much.